Psalm 4.
Sometimes God's people can be so discouraging. I heard a preacher once say, "We don't need any fire extinguishers in our church. There are enough wet blankets walking around to put out any fires that we have." Well, in Psalm 4, we find David listening to people who are saying, "Who will show us any good?" Verse 6. David's own men were discouraged. Who will show us any good? David and his men were going through a time of trial. And some of his good men were saying to him, "Oh, David, this is the end. We've come to the end of the rainbow. This is it. God is no longer going to help us." Now, that's hard to take. It's rough when your own associates, your own friends, are saying to you, "Well, you've reached the end. Who will show us any good?" But you notice that in Psalm 4, David calls on the Lord. And God enlarges him. "Thou hast enlarged me when I was in distress." Now, here's an important point, and you get a hold of it. Pressure on the outside ought to make us bigger on the inside. You see, the trials of life will press against you and make you either a midget or a giant, make you either smaller or bigger. And the place to start is on the inside. "Thou hast enlarged me when I was in distress." How did this happen? He cried out to God. Verse 7, "Thou hast put gladness in my heart." How about that? He starts off with sadness. He ends up with gladness. He starts off with tears. He ends up with triumph. And once again, he's back sleeping beautifully. Verse 8, "I will both lie down in peace and sleep, for thou, Lord, only makest me to dwell in safety." David discovered that the important thing in life is not the circumstance around you, rather it is the attitude within you. Let God enlarge you when you're going through distress. He can do it. Now, you can't do it, and the people around you can't do it for you. In fact, they may want to make things even tighter, narrower. But when you turn to the Lord and trust Him, He has a way of enlarging you on the inside, and you'll come out of your distresses a bigger person because you've trusted in the Lord.